Hello.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? Nice to see everyone. Awesome, cool. Oh, all the friendly faces. This is amazing. Nice to see you all. Let me just check that we all got everyone coming through nicely. Gab, I've just done that thing I said I was going to do.
Perfect. Thank you.
All good. Awesome. How are we, team? Nice to see everybody. So we are jumping on board. We're going to be learning about how to grow our email list. Now, I know everyone's time is very precious, so we're going to make sure that you're going to get a lot out of this session today. Now, we are streaming this across to our bootcamp members, so thank you to all of you guys that are joining me. Love seeing you guys always. Also streaming this on our YouTube channel, which is nice, and our Facebook channel, so all the people in the world can see exactly what we're doing. So lots and lots of fun. Now, we do have a few little housekeeping rules. I'm just going to switch to my iPad if it wants to do its thing today. But if you're in our bootcamp, for those that are joining us on Zoom, for those in the bootcamp, can you change the name can you put the letter in front of your name, the letter B if you're from bootcamp, just so when I look in the guest list, I can see who's a guest and who is a bootcamper. So you just click edit profile in Zoom, put a little B and leave your name next to it. If you are a guest, I would love it if you could write the word guest in there, please. That would be super awesome. Or the letter G. And if you are part of my elite team, put an E. If you're just a team member, put a T. So we got, let me just do it here so you guys can see it. So camera's on. If you're a boot camp, put a B. If you're a guest, put a G. If you're a team member, put a T. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, Kyong. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, everybody. I love that. Cool. Awesome. Just makes it helpful for me to know who I am absolutely talking to. All right, while we are letting people roll in, we've already got about 38 people or so in our Zoom chat, and we've got 10 to 15 or so on our other chats. I'd love to hear from you. Just use the chat and let me know, what part of the world are you coming from? Where are you logging in from right now? What part of the world? Let's have a look. We got Florida. Thank you, Gab, for helping out. So I'll just read out the locations for those. Finland, we've got Boston, Sydney, Ventura, Vegas. I don't know, Brisbane, I'll call it Brisbane for those that aren't from Australia. We love to call it Vegas because it's a lot of fun up there. Well, not that fun in Brisbane, but you know, I'm from down in Melbourne, so we can... I'll just stop waffling on about other suburbs. We've got New Jersey, we got Florida, California. Hope you're all safe over in California. Gold Coast, Melbourne, awesome team. This is great. We've got people from all over the world. Super exciting. It's the morning for some. It's the afternoon for others. And it's really great to see you all. All right, let's get started for today. I want to make sure we get a lot of value out of today's session. So to make it fun and easy, I want to make sure that you've got your cameras on so I can see all your beautiful faces. I want to make sure that you use the chat. So the chat is super active. I've got Gab here. Gab, if you want to wave your hand, say hi. Gab is one of our team members. We've got Alana joining soon and Jackie. So these guys will be there to help you and Sherpa you guys through today if you have any questions. I'll be throwing links and everything in there, so reach out to those guys. But most importantly today, I just want to have fun. This is a workshop. I used to attend so many workshops and it was just someone with a PowerPoint presentation and they were just sliding across and it was boring. Death by PowerPoint. We don't want that. We want to have fun. So make sure you ask questions, interact with me as much as you can, and I'll do my best to try and bring the energy, bring the value for you guys, all right? So let's start that off now. What's one thing you're excited about learning about growing email lists? Write in the chat. What's one thing that you're hoping to learn today? What is one thing we're hoping to learn? Angela, new technique to grow your list. Bobby wants to find out how to start from ground zero. Fireball needs some new ideas. What else have we got coming through there? Brandon, tools to help grow email list sourcing, etc. Something a little bit different from Mel. Okay, awesome. So a little bit of a wide spectrum. Some people are starting out. Some people are already running. Some people just want some new ideas. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. Today we're going to learn about how to grow your email list. And this is a really important one for me because I try to identify why everyone's here. And for those of you that have been in one of these masterclasses, you understand the framework. I try and work out why you're here. I try and find out the mistakes you're making, and I try and solve those mistakes for you. And that's what we're going to do today. So these are the reasons you're probably here. And if this is what you resonate with, just let me know in the comments. So you know email marketing is powerful, but you probably don't have anyone on your list, okay? So if that's you, let me know. You've got email marketing, it's powerful, but you probably don't have anyone on your list. The other reason you're probably here is you do have a list, right? But it's not growing. You've got a list, it's just not growing at the pace that you want it to grow at. Absolutely. Or you send emails to your list, but they don't convert. Who's that? Is that it? Put your hand up if you think that's you. Yeah, absolutely. Send emails, but they don't convert. And usually that's because the list that we're growing is the wrong kind of list, right? The wrong kind of list and the wrong kind of emails. We've got to join the two together. Okay, so in order to convert our list, we've got to make sure we're sending it to the right people. I can tell you a little story, and we'll talk a little bit about this a little bit later, but I had this one person I was speaking to, and they said, I've been able to subscribe 1,000 members to my list. It's amazing, but I sent an email and none of them converted. And that's because they used the wrong strategy to grow the list, and I'll talk about that strategy that they use shortly. Right? They were sending all the right emails, beautiful, amazing, high converting emails, but when you send it to the wrong people, ain't going to work. So really important. So if that's you guys, you're probably making these mistakes, okay? Mistake number 1, okay? You are collecting emails via your pop-up only, okay? That's the only thing you're doing. So people come to your store, a little thing pops up and you say, hey, subscribe to my list, and hopefully they subscribe. Is that you guys? Don't be ashamed, it's okay, we're all here together. If that's the only thing you're doing to get emails, that's okay. I got you back. The second thing is, you're asking your visitors to subscribe to my newsletter, right? Let's be honest, who's got subscribed to my newsletter on their site? Yeah, a few of you might. Let you know something, let you in a little secret. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna ask you guys, let's know in the chat here. How many times have you subscribed to someone's newsletter recently? Just to the newsletter, like, oh, that sounds like a nice newsletter, let me subscribe. Write the number in the chat, 1, 2, 5, 10. In the last few months, how many times have you subscribed to a newsletter? Never, 0, never. So why do you expect your customers to do the same thing? They're not going to, right? They're not going to subscribe to a newsletter, and I'll talk to you why that is. And the third thing is you don't want to annoy people asking for an email address. Yeah? Do you find it annoying? Do you think, oh, geez, I don't want to ask people for the email address. It's pretty annoying because I get annoyed when people ask me. Yeah? A lot of people think that. It's one of the objections that people have. So what we're going to do for you today is we're going to give you a solution so that you can make sure you're capturing them, right? Because a lot of people just don't catch them at all. They just forget about it, right? Or they're like, oh, I don't really want to do it. I'll just send it to my customers. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to make you an email list growth master. That's a tongue twister. We are going to show you how to grow a highly engaged list, right? A highly engaged list is really, really important. It's not the size of the list that counts, it's the quality of the list that counts, right? Really important thing to think about, the quality. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to give reasons for your visitors to subscribe. We're going to give them a nice reason to subscribe so that they keep coming back, they love you, and they want to listen to your emails. And then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to build a list that grows on autopilot. Is everyone in for that? Does that sound like a plan? Yeah? What most excites you guys about that? Let me know in the chat. What's most exciting about those 3 things? Highly engaged lists, give them a reason, and autopilot. Autopilot. I love autopilot. It's my favorite. Absolutely. All of it. Thank you guys. Highly engaged list. All of it, but autopilot. Oh, oof. Loving the autopilot vibes. All right. Well, let's get into it. So the stats don't lie. For those of you who haven't been in email marketing or done lots of email marketing or realize that email is a thing, I'm just going to show you some stats of one of our members. This one, this is our Klaviyo export here. So this member here, for 1 month in the 30 days this was during September and October, they made $342,000 in revenue in their business. So it's pretty good business. However, $214,000 of that came from email. Imagine that, $214,000 coming from your one channel, email channel. Whereas most people are like, oh, you got to run ads, you got to do this, you got to do that. But if you get email right, you don't even need to run ads. I was speaking with a really well-known wine brand here in Australia. They're a $10, $15 million brand. And they were saying they don't run ads anymore. All they do is send emails. And their job is to acquire emails. And their entire business runs on their email platform. So it just goes to show the power. But obviously that's a big brand. What about some smaller brands? So this brand here, similar time frame. Revenue for their business for the month was $77,000. They attributed 34% of their revenue from email alone. So $27,000. And if you look a little bit closer on these stats, $16,000 came from campaigns, $10,000 came from automated email flows. Right? Pretty cool, huh? So we're starting to rethink email a little bit more. It's very important. If we get it right, we can grow our list. We can make money on autopilot. I love it. Email is super fun. I love it a lot. All right, so what do we need to do? It's your turn to get this done, right? So, for those of you that are new, why is it that you listen to me? I'll just give you the quick brief overview for the people that are guests and people that are tuning in live. So I've been ranked top 50 in e-commerce 3 times now. I launched a store that turned over $1 million in 18 months. I now run multiple Shopify stores with the help of a superstar team. We've helped over 200,000, geez, that would be good, 200 e-commerce stores across our communities. So we run an e-commerce academy. We run boot camps, so the guys that are in this call today. But I also have an elite program where we grow people to $1 million a year. So that's our community. I've worked for some pretty amazing brands. Pretty proud of that I've worked for brands like Superdry, which is a $1 billion brand. I've worked inside some massive brands, some of the biggest in Australia here. And we've just recently done 1 million views on YouTube. So things are moving great. So that hopefully you feel like you're in good company and what I tell you is actually going to work. All right, so I want to take you through the 5 different strategies for growing your email list. So get your pens and paper out because this is going to be important. Strategy number 1, you're probably doing, okay? You've got an on-site offer, right? Most people do this. It's still a tried and tested way to get email addresses, so we need to continue to do it. I'm just going to show you ways to do it right, okay? That's the difference. That's the first one. The second one is running an Evergreen campaign. This is the autopilot campaign that gets us emails every day, all the time. It's an Evergreen campaign. The third way to do it is by offering lead magnets. We'll talk a little bit about what they are. The other 4, did I say fourth twice? I didn't. The next way to do it is collaborations, partnerships, brand deals, okay? Collabs with other people. And then the 5th way to do it is loyalty programs, right? So these are the 5 strategies we're going to cover today. Now, there's probably 2 or 3 other strategies that you've heard of that we're not going to cover. These are the ones that we know work. These are the ones that are tried and tested over time that just continually bring things in. Now, get your fingers ready because we're going to type something in the chat. Of these 5 strategies, how many of them are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 0? Okay, Mel's doing 5. Nice one, Mel. Good to see you there, Mel. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, great. So those that are doing 1 or 2, now we've got 3 to choose from. We've got 5 to choose from. We've got another 3 to do. Those that are doing 1, you've got an extra 4. So we've got some strategies we can implement here. Now, we don't have to do all the strategies at once, but the thing is you can do all the strategies at once. And if you do them all at once, then your list is going to grow a lot quicker, okay? All right, let's go through to strategy. Sorry, I forgot to do this. We use Klaviyo predominantly. We like Klaviyo. I like Klaviyo. I think it's the best tool for the job. It is designed for e-commerce. You have to use it, I think, if you want to run e-commerce. I might just jam over with Gab for 1 second. Hey, Gab, when we launched our coffee business, I said, hey, you know what? I want to try something outside of Klaviyo. Surely it can't be what all the fanboys are doing. So what I asked that we use Shopify marketing. And how did that go for us?
Not well. Yeah, not well at all. It doesn't offer what Klaviyo does, that's for sure. You can't really customize a lot of things. Segments are crazy to build. Whereas Klaviyo, you can just use AI to generate your segments. And it was just pretty messy, I would say. It needed a lot of work.
Agree.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks. Now, this isn't a sales pitch for Klaviyo, by the way. I just know that I just like to remove tech headaches out of the way, and I think Klaviyo is the best tool for the job. There is MailChimp. You could give that a shot. It's a bit of a headache. There's Dotmailer. There's a few other ones out there, ActiveCampaign and Omnisend and a few of those ones. But I just think out of the box, you got to give Klaviyo a go. If you're not using it, there's a trial there if you want to jump in there. Cool. But I want to take you through a tool that we have released in our e-commerce academy. So for boot campers, we've just put this in the bootcamp community, so you guys can get access to this straight away. So you can go jump in there. You don't need to fill out the form. But for those that are, let me move my head out of the way so you can see what's happening. For those of you that are guests here, you can download this now because I'm going to go through this in the call today, our list growth tool. Okay, so really important. I'll give you a few seconds to download that. Gab has put it in the Zoom chat for those of you on Zoom. For those of you who are streaming from one of the other platforms, hopefully that short link will help for you guys. But we're going to go use this today. So this tool is really important because it's basically the framework that you need to use to grow your email list. It's the framework we use, and it's the framework I've used for years. In fact, this is the one that generates us, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Really, really powerful. All right, everyone got that? Let me know if you got it. Give me a thumbs up if you've got that in front of you. Yep, a few thumbs. Awesome. Okay. All right, so let's go through why this is important. There's a thing that I like to think about which we call the value exchange, right? Now, remember at the start of this call, I said, how many people subscribe to newsletters, right? Most of them gave me donuts. I said, no one subscribes to newsletters. You might subscribe to a newsletter that might be informative or news, but you're unlikely to subscribe to a store's newsletter. And that's because there's a low value exchange. Because, if you subscribe to that newsletter, all they're going to do for you is just spam the hell out of you, right? You're just going to get spammed, right? So, and how valuable your email address is. And that means that every other customer also knows the value of their email address, and they're not just going to give it away for free. So this is where the value exchange comes in. Now, if we're asking for someone's email address, we know that that is valuable to us, and they also know it's valuable to us. So they're going to want something in exchange for this, okay? So this is where the value exchange comes in. So what I want you to think about now is, what's the value of an email address to you? What's the value of an email address to you? I'll get you to write it in the chat. What is the value of the email address to your business, okay? What is the value of an email address? Let me know what you think. Now, what you might notice, every time I ask you to write in the chat, I'm going to have a drink of coffee in my daughter's mug with rainbows on it. All right, $5. How do I know the value? Well, it's really how valuable your customers are to you, and how high your email list converts. Okay, high chance of conversion. Okay, cool. So let's go through this. And what I want you to do is let's go through, and I'm going to jump across to this. Let's go through the list growth tool here, right? I want to take you through this thing here. So if we think about this first one, the first one here is our on-site offer, okay? And this is where we have this value exchange. So what I want you to think about is, if we want to get something from someone, we need to give them something in return. So our on-site offer needs to be valuable. The way I like to think about it is, if my average order value is, say, $100, how much of that would I be willing to give away to get people to buy from me? Would I give them 5%, 10%, 50, 30, 100%, whatever you want to? You're probably not going to give them 100%, but what is it that you want to give away, right? We typically say 10% is usually a good average order value number to get away. So let's just say I've got a $100 average order value, and I'd be willing to give away 10% of that to have the potential for a customer. So that means that we might do a $10 coupon code. We might do 10% off. We might do free shipping if shipping is worth that, okay? So what I want you to think about here is, what is your on-site offer going to be at about 10% of your average order value? So if your average order value is, say, $100, then maybe we're going to give away a $10 coupon code, okay? Is this making sense to you? So we don't want to give away too much, because we don't want to give away the farm, but we want to be saying, hey, you know what? We're willing to give you something in exchange for your email address, right? So this is a value exchange there. Now, we don't want to give too little, because if it's like, I'm going to give you $1 for your email address, I'm not going to give it for $1. But if we get $10 off, or $5 or $25 or whatever it is, we find that 10% mark is good, then that's the way to do it. Now, a lot of people ask, should I give $1 off? Should I give a percentage off? Now, I'm indifferent to this, and we test a lot. So the reason I have two boxes here, I want you to test on your store what works for you. Okay, what is it? Is it dollars or percentage that works for you? So if you've decided that it's $10, if you decided that it's 10% of your average order value, would be $10, or it'd be 10% off. Okay, so I want you to test it out, and in order to test it, I want you to measure what we call our form submit rate. So this you can show on Klaviyo, but your form submit rate is basically the measurement that tells you whether or not your offer is good or bad. So if the form submit rate is high, then it means the offer is good. If the form submit rate goes down, then the offer is bad. So what we do is, every month we'll switch out the offer, and we'll be like, okay, we'll try $10 today, we'll try 10% try $10 this month, we'll try 10% next month, and then we'll see which one has a better form submit rate, and one that has the better one, we stick with that offer. Okay. Now, we did a similar thing, whereas we went from like 10, 9, 8, 7. I think we landed on like $7, and we found that form submit rate was fine and conversion rate was also fine, but it was all about testing. But we always want to have that measurement in there. Okay, is this helpful for everyone? Give me a thumbs up if it's helpful. Love to see this, okay? So 10% of average order value, measure form submit rate. The other thing you can do here is making sure that we sort of put some rules in place, right? So the goal here, first and foremost, is to get email addresses. Okay, I want you to think about that. The goal here is to grow your email list. So what we want to do is we want to put some rules in place. I want you to think about what's your minimum spend for this offer, okay? So what minimum spend are you going to say? So for me, their minimum spend is $100 because I don't want to be giving away $10 and selling $10 products and then giving it away for free. So we put a minimum spend in place, right? That's not going to stop someone giving you their email address. It may slow them down from converting, but you're still going to get them in your list, okay? The other thing is we can set a expiry on it. So let's just say 30 days, right? Might put a 30-day expiry on it. The reason we would do that is it allows us to create some urgency and a reason to email them, right? So let's just say I download a coupon and I say, here's a $10 coupon code. In 28 days time, I'm going to get an email from that brand that says, hey, by the way, Brendan, your coupon code is going to expire in 48 hours. You better buy it. Buy something with that, right? Creates urgency and scarcity. Okay. Is anyone doing that at the moment? Reminder emails? Yep. Awesome. A few of you. If you're not, super quick way, easy to do it. Set some coupon code expiries and send through an email reminding them. It's a nice way to print money. All right. Awesome. So the fact we've got a value exchange, if depending on the size of the value we're asking for or offering, so let's just say we're only offering sort of that $10 mark. In theory, the less you offer, the less you can ask for. So for $10, we're going to do a value exchange. For $10, I'm going to buy a first name and an email address because that's all I can afford. All right? Because I'm only giving you $10. But if I want to give you some more money, then maybe I can ask for some more things. Okay? So this is the value exchange element here. The less you give, the less you can ask. Yeah, pretty much just like a market. So I want you to think a little bit about that. But we don't want to be giving money away all the time, do we? Okay. So we'll go into the next strategy in a moment, but I just want to show you some examples of this one. So some on-site offers here. That will give you some examples. This is one from a food brand. Get $90 off with free shipping. $90 off with shipping and a free gift. Okay. Pretty simple offer. It's not always, it doesn't always have to be, $10 off your order. Here's one, 20% off site-wide. Okay. Sign up to save. Another one here is get 10% off your first order. Now, what you can see is these are all slightly different. The first one there is a pop-up. The second one is a full screen overlay. The third one here, I'll just move my head out of the way. The third one here is a little flyout that comes out. So the other thing that you want to test is what the style of pop-up you want to put on there. Okay. Full screen, slide out, pop-ups, all those sorts of things. And what are we measuring for? Form submit rate. Okay, very important. And then here's one here. It's not giving an offer away, it's giving away free shipping. Something slightly different. Okay, that's a really good one. Love the free shipping ones. They're great. Really easy, right? And then here's one of our ones. This is one you cannot forget. Very important, is making sure that you have your checkout consent to subscribe checked. Very important. Now, a cool thing that you could do here, which I don't have it in this screenshot, is you can put the offer in this piece of text here. So you can update this consent. So if you had this consent that just sort of said subscribe to my newsletter, people aren't going to tick it. But if you see what we've written on ours, it says want first access to the latest products and deals. And people are like, yeah, hell yeah, I do. And they'll tick it. Okay. So you can change that in the language settings of your Shopify store. Is that helpful for everyone? Make sure you change the text in that. Even that alone is going to grow your email list. Just changing the text and pre-selecting that. It's like e-commerce list growth 101. All right, cool. Let's move on. I want to take you to strategy number 2. This is the Evergreen giveaway. Giveaways are awesome. We love it. This is one of our stores and we run this on Evergreen. And what I mean by Evergreen is it never goes away. It's always on and it's always just filling up our email list. This is your autopilot strategy. So if we think about the first strategy, the offer was, we're going to give you this in return for your email address. So something small in return for something small. This next one is we're going to give you something big in return for more information. All right. So what we're doing here is we're going to give away a prize. The prize is of a greater value, and then we're going to draw that prize every single month. Okay. Now, the reason this is really powerful is you can link it from your social media. Okay. So this doesn't need to be on site for everyone to see. This is where you start to now get people off your site signing up to your email list. So they don't need to even visit your site to sign up. They might just be following you on social. They might be following a piece of your content and you can link them to this competition. They can be in your feed. A link in bio is a killer strategy. They can be in your stories. Okay, great way to get people who aren't on your site to join your list. Okay, this is off-site list building. The second thing that we do is we draw this monthly. Now, the reason this is really powerful is we're giving away one prize. So we're only giving away one thing to get multiple email addresses, where the other one was we had to give something away for each individual email address. So we make sure we make the prize pretty big, and we only draw it monthly, so we can continue to fill the funnel up every single month. The other thing we do is we can ask for more info here. Because the prize is bigger and the fact that it's a prize, we can ask for more than email address. We can ask for things like their postcode. We can even ask their phone number, because we could say, hey, give us your phone number so we can contact you if you win. People are a lot more susceptible to giving you more information if you're giving them something larger in return, right? This is the value exchange piece of the puzzle here. And then what we can do even better is we can boost with ads. Now, I'll give you a little trick that's really important here for you to do, okay? Really important that you give away something that attracts the right audience. And this is, I'll go back to the original story I was talking about. So I was working with a company, and they got their 1,000 emails, and they said it was awesome, but they're not converting. They said the list is low quality. The reason was they were giving away an iPad, okay? And I think they sold shoes or something like that. And they were giving away an iPad. They said, hey, join our list and you can go in the draw to win an iPad. Problem with that is that people just wanted the iPad. They didn't really care about what they sold. So they were attracting the wrong people to it. So what we recommend doing is give away your best-selling product, right? Why would we want to do that? Well, if it's your best-selling product, it's going to attract the right audience, and it means that it's going to attract the people that want to buy that thing. And you're going to fill your list up with people who want the product that you're selling, and then if they don't win, that's okay. You shoot them an email and you try and sell it some other way. So that gets you a really high-quality list. Attract them with the honey, right? Get the bees in the door and then do it that way, all right? So make sure you are trying to attract them with the right product. Is this all making sense to everyone? What are we learning? Write in the chat for the people on Zoom. What's one thing that you can take away so far? One little nugget of gold that we can take away. Excellent. Competitions are great. Evergreen campaign, if done right, could be a game changer. Learning more about Evergreen giveaways. Quick few questions that came in there was, do we draw it every month? So, yep, at the end of every month, we just use a random number generator. You can go to Google, type in random number generator, and let's just say we had 500 people enter the competition that month. We just do a draw that says between 1 and 500, and whatever number it picks out is the winner, okay? I'm going to give you a little freebie here, which I didn't have in this preso, but I think it's really important. So we can pick the winner and we send them a little email and we say, hey, James, well done. You have won first prize. Here's your free boxing gloves. All good, right? But here's the kicker. Don't tell anyone this strategy, by the way. This is just for everyone on this call. You need to send a runner-up prize, okay? Who should we send the runner-up prize to? Write in the chat. Who should we send the runner-up prize to? All the people. Absolutely, Sandy. Everyone. Everyone's a runner-up. So what we can do is the other 499 people get the first offer that you give away, which is $10 off their first purchase. So, hey, sorry you didn't win, but you've won second prize. It's $10 off your next purchase. Okay? Great way to re-engage the list. Great way to make them feel like they've won something. They didn't realize that every other person won. They felt like they're special and they got the runner-up prize. Killer strategy. Love that. Is this helpful for everyone? Yes. Love this. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is really cool. Okay, let's go on to the next strategy. Oh, actually, quick ad break for those that aren't in the, I got to do this, right? So for people on the live call, you know, our time is valuable, so I'm going to try and put a quick ad break in here for you guys. So I'm going to make it super quick. For those on bootcamp, grab a quick coffee, have a toilet break. I'll be 2 minutes. All right, so quick ad break for everybody. For those of you who are in the bootcamp, you'll see this before, but this is what we offer in our community. It's awesome. It's loads of fun. We do the training, we do the engine room, we do all the things, and we have live coaching calls every week. So we have modules on how to grow your store to $10,000 a month is our strategy. The second thing is we have this awesome community. You can see all the people in here are part of this bootcamp community. So if you're not in it, you're missing out. This is a super active community where we help you and we coach you to grow your e-commerce store, whether it be in email marketing, whether it be in SEO, ads, setting up your website, all the things. We are there to help. So today, and we also have me talking a lot and have a lot more detailed videos. So today I'm going to do our normal offer that we do on these masterclasses because it's a great offer and we love getting people in the community. Usually it's $199 a month to join here, but today we will do it for $99 a month. Hey, Gab, if you could put way ahead of me. Thank you, Gab. So if you want to join, just for the next 48 hours, I'm going to do this. But what I am going to do, and I have done this for a few people who are already on this call, I'm going to do a full audit of your website for free if you join up in the next 48 hours. So feel free to jump on. I love doing audits because I love to see how people set up their stores. But I'll only do that for the sort of the next 48 hours because otherwise I'll be busy doing audits for the rest of my life. But yeah, $99 for the bootcamp. If you want to join, the link is right at the bottom there. Clearly, I'm not very good at advertising because I'm covering the thing I need you to click to buy. So yeah, that's it there. That's my sales pitch. Just to say thank you for me hosting this together. I'd love to see you in the community. People in the bootcamp, write what you love about it in our Zoom call. What do you love about being in the bootcamp? Just while I have a coffee and get ready for the next slide. Zoom coaching calls, 100%. Yeah. Worth every cent. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Kelly. Okay. Awesome. So that's the sales pitch. I'd love to see you guys on the inside. So let's go to lead magnets, team, which is the next thing. Lead magnets are really, really powerful, right? So lead magnets do a couple of things. They firstly make you an authority in your market, okay? That's the first thing they do. So if you're creating a lead magnet, so I'll give you an example of what a lead magnet is first. Lead magnets are where you create a resource and you put it out into the world and people have to give you their email address to receive that lead magnet. A little bit like what I might have done today where I sent you a link to grab my list growth plan. That's a lead magnet, right? I create a piece of material, I put it out into the world and I say, hey, I'll give you this, but I need your email address in return. That's a lead magnet. This can be anything from a recipe book to a checklist to a guide to a white paper to some statistics to, a tutorial to a video. It could be absolutely anything. But the idea is you create a resource that your ideal audience will like and you package it up and you send it to them via email. Now, this creates an authority for you, but the goal and the important thing here for you, and this is where a lot of people miss out, is you need to send it to them via email. We don't want it to be that they have this email gate where they put the email address in and then they can just download it there. You need to send them to their email. Why? Because they need to get used to receiving emails from you. That's the goal. And this is how we get high converting emails. The other thing it does, if someone opens an email from you as soon as they subscribe, it signals to Klaviyo that you are a highly engaged sender and people want to receive emails from you, and it will take your emails out of promotions folder and move them into inbox. Right? So make sure that everything you do, you send it to an email. So when you create the lead magnet, they download it. The landing page should say, hey, thanks so much for doing that. The resource will be in your inbox within the next 2 minutes. Be sure to check it out. Right? You would have seen that if you downloaded mine. I would have done that exact same thing for you. All right. So this is a really powerful strategy. A few questions have come in on this one. Mel's asked, do you suggest a landing page for this? Yeah, landing page for this is awesome. Great way to do it. So send it via email. The next thing we've got to make sure we do is that we nurture them to convert, right? So as I said before, our goal here is to grow our email list, then we get sales. So the reason we want to send it to them via email is we can then move them into a flow and we can start nurturing them into a conversion. Okay, so they come in and they say, hey, I really love this list growth method that I downloaded. And by the way, those that just get it, you're probably going to get nurtured to convert from me. And I'll be sending you a series of emails that I think you will find valuable. And then eventually, I'm probably going to ask you to buy something. And that happens for all of our email lists that we do, right? It's a nurture to convert sequence. Really super powerful. The goal here, though, is I want you to test different magnets. Okay, just because we try one magnet doesn't mean it's going to work. Hey, Gab, how many magnets do we do for our program? I think we have like 50, probably. Probably all of them. Unlimited. Unlimited. Yeah. And they're just continually flowing out all the time and bringing people into our list. Okay. So be always continually testing. Okay. Love that. All right. Let's keep moving, team. The next strategy that is really fun is a collab and partnership. And now we're getting into a little bit more advanced strategies. And these are the ones that I used within the big brands, which is why we're seeing a big brand here. But collabs and partnerships are really, really powerful. The reason these are powerful is there are people out there that have the same audience as you, or companies that have the same audience as you, but they may not actually sell the same product as you. Okay? which means you're not in competition and you can collaborate. And this is a really important factor because they've got an audience of thousands of people. You've got an audience of thousands of people. Why don't we bring those together and you can both have extra thousands of people in your audience. So collaborations are really, really fun. What I want you to do is think about what's a company that you would like to work with that has the same audience as you and maybe has a complementary product, and then you can work together to try and share your audiences. And the way we want to share audiences could be either via a competition. So think about your Evergreen competition. You might be able to run that. You both could run that on your lists, but you just join forces. So you give away 2 prizes instead of 1. So you give away something from your company, something from their company, bring it together, and then show it off to the list. And then you'll find that your list compounds. Okay. So find a company that has the same audience as you, but doesn't sell the same product and is not a competitor, and we work together. So competitions are awesome. Other things could be that you offer them something to their list. So you could have a product and say, hey, I know your list loves this. How about I give you the first offer? Like I'll give everyone on your list $10 off their first purchase. Okay. How about they get free entry into our competition to win this prize? So we collaborate that way. We did this really well at Superdry when I worked there. We collaborated actually with 3 other brands. Now, we had some brand power, so it was pretty good, but we were able to collaborate with a travel company here in Australia, and we're also to collaborate with Subaru. And what we did is we gave away this mega prize that you could win a trip to the snow for a weekend, win a Subaru, as well as the free travel and all your snow gear from Superdry. So we collaborated there and were able to amplify the audience by 3 because we're able to use other people's audiences. It's a really powerful strategy, really easy. Just if you're a small brand doesn't mean it doesn't work. We've got 50 people zooming in right now. There's probably 2 people on this call that you could collaborate with, right? Other small businesses can collaborate also with small businesses. So don't feel that this is a strategy just for the big guys. Yes, this one is Dyson and Issey Miyake, and we see, Nike and, all these other designers doing things, but you can operate at a small level. So if we go back to our list growth method, what I want you to think about, that's this one here, on a collab. What I want you to do is I want you to determine what is one company that if you could work with and leverage their list that it would be. Put your ideal company in here. This is going to be your vision. It's your goal for the day, right? How do we get them? What offer do we need to give them? How do we collaborate? Again, this needs to be value exchange. What's in it for them and what's in it for you? Okay, not just what's in it for you. Helpful? Yep. Awesome. All right, let's power through, team. Let's go to the next one. So the next one is loyalty programs. This is a little bit more of an advanced method, but loyalty programs can be really powerful if done correctly. Now, the idea of a loyalty program is, people spend with you and they might get points, okay? They might get the points and it might put them through tiers. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum, whatever it is. So the more they spend, the more they interact, the more they engage, the more they go up the levels. Or people could even have a program where they pay to be part of it. Think about like Amazon Prime, eBay have a similar one where you pay to be part of this loyalty program and you get benefits from that, okay? Or the other one could just be a value program where, you're just sending them, emails when they reach certain thresholds, right? So loyalty programs can be any shape or form, but the strategy here is you can only really do a loyalty program if you have the right business model for it, okay? So if you just sell one product, and they buy it and they go and they're never going to come back again, there's no reason for them to be loyal to you because they can't come back and buy anything from you, right? So what you want to think of here is what is it that you can sell to them, or what is it that you can give them that keeps them sticky? So loyalty programs are really powerful for brands where you want to try and differentiate yourself from a competitor. So if you sell very similar things and your product can't differentiate itself, maybe your loyalty program can. I'll give you an example of when I worked in a pet store. We're Australia's largest online pet retailer, but we sold the same pet food as everybody else, which meant the only thing we could compete on was shipping and a few other things. So what we did is we implemented a loyalty program, and it said if you buy this product, you'll earn points. So that what that meant was that they would choose us to buy from instead of the other person. So that's sort of one version of the loyalty program. The other one could be sending out upgrades or discounts via emails if they hit certain spend thresholds, right? So there's a company here in Australia that does this really well. It's a clothing company, and as you buy certain things, you then get rewards as you go through. So if I spend $100 with them, they'll send me a coupon code of $15 to spend on my next purchase. That keeps people loyal and it keeps people sticky. Okay. Now, a few things to think about with this one is it's great for large catalogs. Why? Because if you're giving them rewards, they need to be able to spend those rewards on things. They're not going to just keep buying the same thing again unless you have a reusable product. So we want to have large catalogs where they've got lots of choice. Okay, so we can continue to use it. The other thing that it's good for is it's used to differentiate. Like I said, if you need to separate yourself in the market and you have this unique program, then they're going to do it. A little bit like what airlines do, right? Airlines do this really well. The reason they have a points program is so that you'll stick and stay flying with them and it differentiates them, okay? Another little hack here, you could, if you collaborate earlier, you could build we did this actually at one of the brands I worked on, is we did a collab with a brand and then we built a loyalty program and we were giving a discount to the other brand in our loyalty program, right? So it meant when someone joins our loyalty program, not only do they get, benefits for us, but they get benefits from our partners. So a really strong strategy that you could do there. The other one is it does increase repeat purchase, right? The secret to scaling an e-commerce store is getting people to buy from you more than once, right? If there's anything you take away from this lesson, the secret to scaling an e-commerce store is to get people to buy from you more than once. That's the secret. There you go. You can go make millions of dollars now, right? Secret is to increase repeat purchase. But the only problem is it is a little difficult to implement and it is a little bit clunky. That's why I left this as the last strategy, right? This ain't an easy thing to do. Yes, there's apps out there. Yes, there's ways you can do it in Klaviyo. However, don't try this until all your other strategies are in place. Loyalty programs can be one of these big distractions. And I've worked in teams that have done this and it's taken 8-9 months to implement this ideal loyalty program and not much changed, right? A little bit changed. Like we might have got more repeat purchases, but it wasn't. For the amount of effort we put in for the outcome was not that great. So heed my caution. Don't do a loyalty program until you're ready, right? But if done well, you can be the next point system like Amex and stuff is, right? It can be really powerful. Is this useful, team? Yeah? Of the few strategies that we just talked about, what have you learned? What have you found most helpful? Write in the chat. And for those of you that are zooming in from YouTube and Facebook, just write a comment down below. What are the things that you found most useful for these strategies, team? Okay. The giveaway. Yep, absolutely. I can't keep up. Evergreen, the competition. Evergreen's a killer one. Awesome. How do you promote the loyalty program? We'll go through that in a second. Lead magnets. Ideas with collaborators are very good. The collab giveaway is most useful to me. Awesome. I love this. I'm glad you're all getting super value out of this one here. So a few questions have come up that I'll go through in a sec. We'll do Q&A in a moment. But really what I want you to think about is these 5 strategies can all be done, right? They can all be done, but we don't need to do them all at once. Choose 1 or 2 that you find are really good. And I sort of rolled the strategies out in order of importance. So we need to come up with the offer. We need to have a value exchange. We then can look at some sort of competition. Then we can look at, collaborating. We already know the value we're willing to give away, so we can collaborate that way. Then we can run sort of our comp, and then we can do our loyalty program. So think about it that way, and think about it as you sort of grow. With the Evergreen competition, we love it. So we actually boost it with ads. And so what we do is we spend about $5 to $10 a day on our competition on meta ads. And that trickles in maybe 20 to 30 email addresses a day, right? So they just trickle in and they've entered them in the competition and they just fill our email list every single day. So I'm sure you'd be happy to get 10 to 20 email addresses a day in your inbox, right? Awesome. And then we can run some flows and automations off the back of that entry, and then we can try and convert them into sales, okay? Cool. All right, so I think that is the last thing I was going to talk about. So I've got some time for some Q&A for those that are in the Zoom chat. So I'll get you to put your questions in the chat if you wouldn't mind. For those of you that haven't signed up, and thank you for those that have already signed up to the bootcamp offer. I've seen a few come in while we've been chatting. That is there if you want to get to it. It's ecomacademy.co bootcamp. That will give you the free site audit and the $99 deal. So jump on there. But yeah, let's jump into some Q&A while we are jamming. So a few questions here. Let's have a look. So Mel asks, how do you promote the loyalty program? Do you send emails to customers and invite them to join? Yeah, it's a few different ways. So absolutely, we can send them an email and say, hey, well, actually, the way we have done it before is we've upgraded existing members, right? So you got to think there's 2 reasons for this loyalty program. Reason number 1 is to get people to join your list. Okay, that's why we're on this call today. Reason number 2 is to get people to buy more from you. So it's a repeat purchase one. So the people who are already on your list fall into bucket 2. So what we do is we actually upgrade them. We say, hey, congratulations, Mel, we've upgraded you to our loyalty program. You are now in the bronze tier, right? And then we give them an example of the loyalty program. As opposed to join our loyalty program, we're just going to automatically enroll them because they're on our list. Remove all the friction, okay? Then the first one is, then we can run something on our social media, or even in our link in bio, we can have it as our pop-up. Basically, if we've built a loyalty program, that's where we want to funnel everyone using all these strategies. So they should be the on-site offer. It should be the Evergreen campaign. It should be a collaboration. All those 3 things will be the way that drives them into this program. Is that helpful, Mel? Awesome. All right, let's go for a few other ones. Do I have a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up an Evergreen campaign from Kelly? I do, but it's not public. Maybe we'll make that as a note. I might do something in YouTube on that one, or for the Brick Campers. Thank you for the idea. What's a strategy to promote a lead magnet, says Emmy. Yeah, so lead magnets, similar sort of strategy. Look, everything follows the same thing, right? Once you've chosen the thing you want to give away, then we just decide where do we put it. So we can put it as a pop-up on our store, if we want to do that. We can run it as a social media campaign. So we can put it in our socials. We can run ads behind it, and we can pop it up that way. So you've got the offer, you can run it there. I love, like I've said it a few times, link in bios are a great way to get email lists, right? And then you can even just boost some of that. So I'm not usually a fan of boosting, right, from ads perspective. But if you do a story about your lead magnet, it could be, here are 3 ways to wear your hat and look cool in summer. I don't know. I just made that up, right? And it's a downloadable lead magnet on how to do that. You can run that as a post on your social media, and then we can boost it with the target being profile views, okay? And then when they go to profile views, they click your link in bio, and then they can enter to download the lead magnet. A really killer one. We do that a lot. Is that a good strategy for you guys? It's a good one. Boost to profile lead magnet. All right. Got a couple more. What resources can retailers share with potential customers to use as a lead magnet? Okay. So it depends on your market, right? So if you sell babies' clothes or something like that, it could be my guide to the first 6 months of being a mum. Okay? Or here's 6 things mums need to know when they have their first baby. All right? Or how to dress your child how to dress your child in a certain way so that people don't think this thing. So have a think about what their problem is, and can you solve that problem with some sort of lead magnet? So I always think problem, challenge, frustration that the person has, and how do you solve that as a brand to become the authority? So think about your niche, think about the biggest problem of that niche and why you created that product, and then we think about a lead magnet on there. If you sell food, recipes could be good. If you sell toys, you could come up with holiday ideas. If you sell travel products, my top 5 destinations, that all can be sort of things that are appealing to that audience. If I think about our boxing one, we had things like, how to wrap your hands for boxing. Here's a video guide on how to do that. You could even have printouts where, if you've got a meal planner or something, you could do a meal planner. Just think about anything that would be useful to your audience that will make you feel like an authority. Okay, is that helpful for you guys? Yep. There's just thousands of ideas. Just think of the problem. What can you give them to solve that problem? That's it. Now, the lead magnet doesn't need to be war and peace. It doesn't need to be beautiful and aesthetic, because what are we trying to do? All we're trying to do is get the email address, right? Sometimes people don't even open the lead magnet. In fact, most of the time they don't open the lead magnet, right? They download it because they want it, and they're like, I'll go back to that later, and they never go back to it. But what's happened there is they're now in your email list, and you're starting to email them, okay? So don't worry too much about the lead magnet, as in the content of it. Just worry about getting the email address, okay? All right, I'll go through 2 more questions, and then I might pull the pin. But got one from Natasha. I use Klaviyo and a pop-up with 15% off first order, but I have the double opt-in method to prevent bots, and a lot of people add their email but not confirm their subscription email. What can I do about this? Can I still include them in my campaigns? So what you should do about that is turn off double opt-in. That's pretty simple. I always turn it off. We don't include it on ours. The only time you should really include it is if you have like 1 or 2 million email list. Yes, it's best practice to do it, but to tell you what, it's absolutely fine. Even if you're getting a couple of bots, we can go through and clean those up. Absolutely turn off double opt-in. You don't need it. Don't tell Klaviyo I said that. If you've already been attacked by bots, then maybe it depends on where your list is. Have a chat to Klaviyo about that. But on 99% of the stores we work in, none of them have double opt-in. Right? I'd highly recommend trying to work through that. So Max asks, is your source to collect emails is Facebook and Google Ads? Absolutely. Yep, pay for them, right? So 2 strategies. One is, actually, I'll give you 2 more strategies for free. I'm giving you guys a lot today. 2 more strategies for free. Facebook, you can run a lead generation ad. There's an ad type which is called a lead gen ad. You should Google it or YouTube it. I don't think I've done a video on it, but lead gen ad is great because what happens there is you can put the offer that we talked about in a lead gen ad, and the user doesn't need to leave Facebook to fill out the details. So they click and they say, I want this thing, pops up. It's already pre-filled. They click, get me the thing, and it gets emailed to them, right? So it does it all within Facebook, which means they don't even need to go to your store. Really good strategy to get lots of emailers. Quality of emails, maybe not so great. So that's just the trade-off there. The second one that we do is by building these landing pages that we set up, we can run ads in Google for site links. So if you think about a Google ad where it's got, hey, buy my black hat, underneath we can say get $10 off black hats. You click that and it takes you to the landing page and they can sign up there. That's a real killer one. All right. Awesome. Hope that's helpful, team. All right, I'm gonna call it today, but I hope you guys have learned a lot. I hope you guys have got a number of strategies you can now implement. I really love to see those guys in bootcamp see your email list grow. Before I leave, what's one thing you're going to now implement after learning this session that you weren't going to do before? What's one thing that you're going to implement? I just want to make sure that you're actually going to do something after this call and not waste an hour just listening to me waffle on all day. The prize, good. Evergreen campaign, more collabs. Set up a couple of lead magnets, giveaway. Awesome. So you've now put out into the universe and you've told 50 other people that you're going to do this thing, right? So you've now set the intention, you're going to get it done, and we're going to see your email list grow. And then I'd love you to report back in, comment on this video or in the bootcamp on how it's worked for you and how many email addresses that have grown. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun. I will no doubt see the bootcampers on the inside. All those new ones, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to look forward to auditing your stores. And for everyone just watching on YouTube, great to see you, and I'll talk to you guys again. Over and out.